They are preparing for their first live show together in 25 years, and as Five got a preview of their performance space before their reunion tour began Wednesday night, they were overcome with emotion. As they assembled to practice for the performance, the singers were shown strolling around the Utility Arena Cardiff in an Instagram video. Jason J. Brown, 49, who last appeared in public in 2013 when he appeared on the ITV2 series The Big Reunion, was especially moved when he explored the facility. "Oh yeah, that's actually rather spectacular looking," he said, fighting back tears. Jay added, "I'm overwhelmed by it because it's like everything that we should have done with each other before last time around," while Richie Neville, 46, interrupted, saying, "I'm absolutely buzzing." "It ought to have been this, but it was never," he added. "The fact that we've returned, that we're still as close as ever, and that we're going to perform like this, it's a dream come true." Following a group hug, 45-year-old Scott Robinson remarked, "We did it." According to Jay, after everything, we are all still here with one another in this same manner many years later. We should have had it from the beginning. In response, Scott said, "Unbelievable, mate." The caption for the video read, "It feels so unbelievable to say that the tour finally begins tomorrow. We are eager to show you the results of our diligent work. We're willing to give it our all because it truly feels like a dream." The announcement earlier this year that Jay, Scott, Richie, 44-year-old Sean Conlon, and 46-year-old Abs Love would be embarking on their first UK and Australian tour as a five-piece since their 2001 breakup drove fans into a frenzy. In an interview with the reporter, however, Five acknowledged that they have not yet started rehearsals and are anxious about what may transpire once they return to the studio just 8 weeks before their tour was scheduled to begin. Jay admitted that he has been feeling a little anxious lately because the group only has a 2 to 4 week window for rehearsal. "I woke up in bed at 3 in the morning a week ago and realized that I hadn't realized we were at this moment. When I realized that we were actually on stage for the first time in 2 months, my brain was still assuming it was July." Panic, torn clothes, and foul language are all to be expected. In preparation for their first performance together in 25 years, the Five spoke candidly about their stressful and intense tour rehearsals. Richie, on the other hand, was unfazed and insisted, "I'm not worried." "We're going to smash it," Ab said, adding that it's going to be a bit stressful, intense, and some long days. "I'm quietly confident we'll be fine." Regarding the outcome of the rehearsals, Richie added, "Ripped clothes, frustration." Jay went on, "There'll be quite a lot of bad language, a little bit of panic." "You need to have a lot of backup pants," Richie continued. "I used to wear big, baggy trousers, and when I got stressed, I would rip them off and walk around in boxer shorts and wonder why everyone thought I was a lunatic." Jay went on to say, "On Wednesday, October 29th, Five will play a show at Cardiff's Utility Arena. The band will tour the UK ending December 2nd in Dublin." Due to overwhelming demand in Australia, it was later revealed that the group would also be touring in New Zealand and Australia the following year. Their May 13th and May 25th dates would begin in Perth and Auckland, respectively. How Five persisted. The 90s idols who have reunited after 25 years share in a brutally candid conversation how they recovered from rock bottom and their very own words for their former guru, Simon Cowell. At one point, Five was referred to as the bad boys of pop, and were well known for both their catchy top 10 tunes and their boisterous outlook. Comprising Sean Conlon, Richie Neville, Scott Robinson, Abs Love, and Jason J. Brown, the band was a pop powerhouse of the 1990s, selling over 20 million albums globally, and became the only UK act to have all 11 singles in the top 10. Naturally, fans were devastated when the trio broke up in 2001, following a 4-year meteoric rise to popularity. In the years that followed, they reformed with several lineups and performed in smaller UK venues, but never as the five-piece that made them famous. Until now, that is. Jay has decided to rejoin the band, and Five has reassembled after 25 years. Later this year, the quartet will tour the UK. Since they first came to the public's attention 25 years ago, I'm not really sure what to expect when Five arrives. These guys are now in their late 40s, and several of them have wives and kids. I'm curious to see how they view themselves in the current boy band scene. Older groups are arguably in control of the scene these days anyway. Blue, McFly, and Take That are some of the acts that attract the largest audiences. Is that the reason Five felt the need to change after all this time? That's not the case, Scott affirms, revealing that reunion negotiations had been going on for years but never materialized. All of a sudden, we are in agreement now. Everyone is in the same place and wants it at the same moment. Something clicked, and we realized that our animosity for each other was nothing more. We weren't all to blame, we were just helpless kids, so we can forgive each other for anything that happened. The group's chemistry is indisputable. Sometimes they joke about, make fun of each other, and even start play fighting, making it difficult for me to speak edgewise. Despite being 25 years older than when they last performed together, they don't appear to have changed much. I'm curious to know if their prior band experience has affected how they approach the tour this time around. The band mentioned feeling like a product and having mental health issues in the documentary Boy Bands Forever, demonstrating that they are still dealing with the wounds from their initial experience of stardom. The 45-year-old Abs acknowledges that he has conflicting views about their history, saying, "As controversial as it may sound, if we could do it all over again, I'd do it all differently." I don't mean it negatively, but rather I'm asking, why would I do it anyway? I think it has shaped who and what we are, so I have no regrets. To realize that the only way out is to touch that rock bottom. Boy bands were pushed to their limits in the 1990s, both physically and mentally, as is now widely known. Richie appears hurt when asked what rock bottom meant to them. "The band took so much emotionally out of us," says he. Scott continues by saying, "It was a very difficult psychological test." For years, the band's mental health issues have been reported. In August 2001, Sean, then 43, became the first member to quit due to a mental breakdown caused by stress and depression. Prior to that, Scott remained with the band until its official disbandment in September 2001, despite his secret desire to leave due to similar mental health concerns. "We have more respect for each other's feelings," Scott says, describing how they've established boundaries to protect their mental health this time around. "You know, I never understood Abs's silence. One day he would be so loud that we would be great friends, then the next day he would stop talking to me. Since I don't understand that, I would take it personally. But now that I know Abs better as a person, I can see that he occasionally needs that space. I now grant him the space he deserves." Richie reflects, "I feel the industry's changed," referring to the world as a whole and their mindset. "That place feels kinder." According to J48, we're grown men now as well. We've gained a better understanding of ourselves and are improving our mental health. We greatly appreciate what we have, adds Sean, 43, who agrees. "The first time we were just too young. It's not that we were conceited or big-headed. We never had time to pause and fully appreciate what we had and had done. Now we have time to think about it. We never imagined that we would have this opportunity again." Five shared their experiences in the industry last year's Boy Bands Forever, which delved into the darker side of 90s boy bands. In the same documentary, Simon Cowell, the band's singer, dismissed many of the band's struggles, saying that you shouldn't enter the industry if you don't want to cope with the negative aspects of fame. My only response to that is, how can you, when you're 15, 17, or 20 years old, ever comprehend what those pressures could possibly be? You're sold on the idea that you'll become a pop star or whatever, but you're not able to know for sure. Psychological support or other types of support were lacking in those days, but they appear to be present now. Abs adds, "On the flip side, I think thank you for the opportunity as well," offering an alternative viewpoint. "We have opposing views, but there is also that. I don't understand it. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just a strange feeling." "We took his advice. We couldn't take the pressure, so we left," chuckles Sean, who takes criticism well. The band's mental stability is evident, and they appear sincere in their desire to resume touring. Of course, some cynics will view their reunion as merely a means of generating money. But, as Jay reflects, we would have done it long ago if this had been about the money. Scott laughs and says, "You don't wait 25 years for a smash and grab." It's hard to disagree with his reasoning.